Alright guys, well I just got home with Lena's new car. It is sitting right in front of me, and it's something like grandma-ish, whatever you want to call it, but all I see in this car is the potential it has to look nice. And the car I got, let's see if y'all can guess it from just the front. Going around, it's a inline 6. It says it's got 190 horsepower on Google, not sure how true it is. It's got the remote, I don't know if you can see that, the seat belts. If I were to turn the key, that one would go back. Looks pretty cool from the back. And if you can't tell what it is already, it is a Cressida, a 1992 Toyota Cressida that she just picked up for $1,000 even. So it's gonna be her new daily driver. It's got a couple things wrong with it, and I'm gonna see if I can diagnose that for her so I can be her little mechanic, right? Right, babe? But so I see lots of potential in this car, and I want to modify it a lot, but I can only do as much as she wants me to. She still wants to have it be reliable and everything, but it is a Toyota. Let me show you the interior some more. I'm gonna do a little before and after before I clean it. You can see this is somewhat faded. These seats are just gone for the most part. Dirty there. See, Cressida. It came with a Bluetooth radio already put in it. The back seats are just kind of faded. Nothing special. And let me pop the hood and the trunk and I'll show you. Coming up to the trunk, you can see this thing is massive. I'm 6'4" and I could probably fit two of me in here. Comes with the full-size spare and the jack and everything under there. The guy also left this in there, so we had a free bicycle lock, I guess. And there's nothing under this. It's literally just part of the car, so that's pretty cool. It looks like the rear seats fold down, but I'm not sure. But that is the trunk, and I'll show you the hood. Coming to the hood now. Lift up. The hood struts are blown, so it doesn't hold itself up, and it doesn't have a hood stay, but you can see here he has the 7MGE, which is the twin cam 24 valve inline 6, and you can see it just needs some cleaning up. Here's a big before, because I'm going to clean the hell out of this. You can see the coolant and everything is just nasty. I really need to do a huge radiator flush on it because they said it overheated. They said it was a head gasket, but the oil looks fine, and I guess I'm going to find that out because I'm going to change it real quick. But here it is. Looks like they got some duct tape holding it on. It looks like there's a little bit of spray, but I'm just gonna clean everything so I can see where it's leaking, if it's leaking from anywhere. And it doesn't look, there's one little drop back there. I'll diagnose it, but for the most part, we're gonna see and clean it up. Look at her modeling on her new grandma car. So we just washed it. It cleaned up pretty nice. You know, it's kind of hard because it's a white car, so it's not going to change that much unless it's really dirty. But the wheels cleaned up real nice, and this fender was probably the dirtiest, and you can see it's pretty shiny. This is nice. There's not a lot of paint mess ups. I mean, it's cracked on the bumper a little bit, and there's all these little marks right here, and I think the clay bar will take that right off. You can see it's coming off with my finger if I scratch it. So I'm gonna have to clay bar this whole car because there's marks all over the roof and stuff, but they're not deep. I can actually feel all these little bumps with my hands. There's a few spots I noticed. There's a little baby little rust hole. I'll probably spray that with some Rust-Oleum and just to prevent it from going. A little bit of chrome trim is peeling off right there. Bumper's a little bit cracked right there too. You wanna start it for us, babe? You can barely hear the exhaust, but it starts right up perfectly. Look at baby in her new car. Well, my camera's about to die, but I'm gonna change the oil with some 1540 and we're gonna be good.
The moment of truth. Is it a blown head gasket? Honestly, I can't really tell. It's splashing. Does that look that milky to you guys? I'm gonna find out.
All right, so here's the seafoam. I'm gonna do a little seafoam treatment. I got a vacuum on right here, and I'm gonna suck it up and make her start baking. Look at the back.
It's a little later in the day now. I had to record those last things with my phone because my camera died, but in the videos, if you can't see, I changed the oil and it didn't even look that milky. I put new oil in and it's just fine. I just checked it and it's not milky, so I'm really happy. And what I'm about to do now is flush the cooling system because it is nasty. Let me get my light on it. If you see this, it is brown. Very, very brown, and you don't want that because that means rust. And what I was thinking when it was overheating, I'm thinking the radiator might have just gotten clogged. He said he put the head gasket leak repair in it, even though it's not even leaking. I don't know if that actually fixed it or not, but what I'm gonna do is I got this coolant flush right over here, and I'm gonna go ahead and flush it and everything and get all this crud out so it doesn't rust and clog everything up, and hopefully I don't unclog the head gasket sealer if that's actually working. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. I gotta let it cool off a little bit because it's still hot. I don't want to spew a bunch of radiator coolant hot everywhere because we drove it to Taco Bell and back. Oh yeah, I also seafoamed it. That's the other thing I meant to say. I seafoamed it and it felt so much better. I put $46 worth of 93 in it just so it, you know, cleans everything up better. I'm gonna put 87 in it, but just 93 for the first run through. I was being kind of hard on it on purpose just to make sure it ran good. And the other thing is, hopefully y'all can see this, but there's one tire mark, two tire marks. She lights both of them up under her own power. Nothing's wet. I just held the brake down and then stepped on it, and she is got a locked diff or whatever because both wheels spin. And there's my girlfriend tending to her cactus that I got her. Anyways, but I'm working on her car for her. It just looks so good. See, I'll give you a better look at the paint, and all that stuff will come right off. But what I'm gonna do now is just kind of wait for it to cool down and then drain all this stuff. I'll probably see if the radiator has a drain on it. If not, I'll just take the lower radiator hose off and drain everything down. So I got the coolant line coming out, and for some reason the water's not coming out, I guess because it's vacuumized right now. But I got that loose, and I'm just gonna let all the water drain out and make a big mess and then just run a bunch of crap through here so it cleans it up. But well, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was, but you can see how it's all brown and stuff. So I'm gonna get the hose, hook it up to that, and just start dumping everything out. Look at that water. It's a steamy mess, but I got the hose in the pipe, and you can see that's all brown. Is it coming out from here? Nope. But yeah, it's kind of hard to record with all the steam, but it's coming out. Okay, well, I put it in the coolant reservoir, and now it's doing that. It's spraying up because of the hose pressure. But as you can see, that's all brown dirty. It's just gonna get cleaner. And I just sprayed the engine bay down with water, and it ran fine. So don't be scared by this, but you can see all the brownness going to clear. So that's what I want to see. So I have it running with the hose in there just to flush it all out. And I put the heater on, that way it gets the heater core clean also. And since it's that spraying directly onto the belt and shooting it, I just put the battery tray right there, just direct it down. But I'm just, pretty much what I'm trying to do is just cycle everything out. It's still coming out clear even though the heater's on, but I'm just gonna let it go for a while and then whatever. All right, it is now time for the more satisfying part of the video. I pulled it in right here since my mom's not home yet. So what I'm gonna do now is clean the interior. The interior is not that savable, but I can make it look way better than what it is. The seats, for instance, aren't that great, but the door panels and everything else, the rear seats, like the upper part at least, and all of this, the backs of the seats, and like I said, door panels, that I can make all these shine. So let me turn that light on. Those lights suck, and then these two, can't really see. I'll get a better light in here, but like the dash, for instance, is flawless, no cracks or anything. Same with the front of the steering wheel, at least the horn part. Anyways, but I'm gonna get all this nice, polished, and clean with this special stuff I love to use. So here's a better view at the back seat. You can see it's not that shiny, and whatever you can see, there's lots of wear in the middle, but we are going to spice that right up. It's even a little dusty. And I got my Aerospace 303 in this bottle that I'm just gonna reuse, and I'm literally just gonna soak everything. I'm not gonna wipe it at all. I'm just gonna let it soak into the leather and marinate, and you will see how much better it looks. All right, so you don't have to use this. This is just stuff I personally like to use just because it works so well. But I didn't even have a couple there. Okay, anyway, you can use like Armor All or some other leather stuff. This is just what I personally like to use because it makes it shiny but not oily, so you can spray it on your dash and not have to worry about it reflecting into your face. But this is literally how I use it. I don't want to wipe it at all. I just want to let it soak into all the leather. So you're literally just gonna soak everything, make it dripping wet with whatever you want to use, because you want to refresh all this old leather that's just been sitting in the sun. Especially this car, it has no tint on it, so it's had no sun protection at all. So this has UV protection in it, which is personally why I like it, because this will help against the UV rays that the sun puts out. So you just soak everything with it, the back of any piece of leather or plastic or vinyl, and it will work perfectly. Same with the door cards. Just gonna spray it and soak it. Don't worry about getting it on the windows. It's not that big of a deal. You can just clean them. We need to clean them anyways. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just keep spraying, especially the parts that are worn down. There's a little hole right there, nothing too big. Top of that, side of that. Something else cool about this Aerospace 303 is that it is a rubber protectant. So any piece of rubber on your car, it'll help. Like your windshield wipers, for instance, if you soak them in your windshield wiper, just spray them, let them sit there, it will help them last like almost twice as long. I did it on all my cars, and it's a nice smooth thing the whole time. Each time it sways, what I do is I just cover my engine bay with it. It makes my engine bay look so much better than engine shine, because it's not oily. It soaks up, it helps the rubber from dry rotting. It works really well. I also have a little tub that I pour with it in there that I soak my belts in, like my serpentine belts and accessory belts in, just so they last longer. I do all that. You can do them on your tires if you want to go way out. It works not really as a tire shine, more as a tire like just look newer. Like I can show you what it looks like on the tires. I'm almost running out, and this big bottle right here, it is $50, and so it's a pretty good investment because I bought it just around a year ago, probably a little bit more, but it works so well. I use it on my dashes and stuff and my engine bays, for instance. But right now I'm just letting everything soak. I need to do the driver's seat because I was sitting in it to spray everything else. But you can see how it's all starting to shine already, so I'm gonna go back to doing that. Something else important on this car alone is since this driver's side seatbelt doesn't work, it may be due to corrosion or something. I'm gonna have to look into it more. I just haven't looked into it at all. But one thing you should do is grease these up, grease these channels. And what I have here is this like bottle of dielectric grease. This is for lights and everything, but it still lubricates, and it has this nice nozzle that I can just shoot it out with really quick. Just put it in a little seam right here and just shoot it the whole way around. So I'm gonna do that on that one especially, and I may cycle it a few times just so I can go back and forth and just get in it. And I'm doing it on this one even though it doesn't work, just in case, because it might help it work. I was reading on some forums that could be it, because you need to lubricate it because it gets just as crusty as these seats. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. So you can see this, I'll do it a little bit, you can see it. See how it squirts out like that? And all I'm gonna do is put it in this channel, and I'm just gonna rub this squirt out. Fill up this channel with cycling it back and forth. So it is going to be all nice and lubricated now. So there's these little tabs on the bottom of the seat that I can use to take the seat out. And I'm going to see what's underneath it. Oh, ready? We're going to see what some nasty shit is.
Alright. Ew. Ooh.
What the?
Oh my god. I saw flies pop out of there.
Oh, we got a dog leash.
Ew. Is that... What is that shit?
We're taking this shit out.
Oh, good lord.
This shit's nasty.
I'm gonna get the shop vac.
So the other day, I went to a car meet and I got 5 slap stickers for her and this car to make it cool as hell. And so I'm gonna go ahead and show those to her right now.
Okay.
So here's the first one, night driving. It's sparkly. I don't know if you can tell. Second one, crispy. This one's sparkly also. Third one, broke but not broken. These were just the ones they had. They're nothing special, but
These are nice.
they're just cool. Savage. They had another one that said
I
something.
might not put this on.
Why? You need.
I don't
And then
need that.
This one,
Red sun.
I didn't know what it was, but my friend told me it's from what is it? Initial D, I think. So it was I was gonna buy 4 of them, but then they said 5 for 20, and
really
they're
like
5 each.
that.
So
That's
buy
nice.
4 get 1 free, pretty much. So I just went ahead and threw this in.
I like this one.
But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put the slap stickers down the side of the window. Figure out a spot just to do them sideways like that. And there's a U.S. Parachute Association member that I'm scraping off, so I can put it on there. But so I'm about to cut this big old bitch off. I did not realize how massive this fucking muffler is. But there's like a muffler thing back there, and then there's a muffler thing back there. So this should sound way better. I'll get a little exhaust clip of it real quick. Look at that big bitch off. Ugh. So I'm gonna hold the camera while I do a ricer rev real quick.
Hell yeah. No, as soon as you start, just like Matthew does.
Maybe you can pop like this.
Hell yeah. Austin, what do you have to say about this? Need to take the resonator out, boy. It's not loud enough yet. What you got to say for yourself?
Burning all good.
Burnt well. But you, Austin.
Smells good.
Smells good.
That's still so fucking
It's not that bad. Ooh.
You gotta take the chip off and load it back on. It's not a real exhaust.
Here's a goddamn size comparison. Hell yeah.
33s, brother.
Hell yeah.
33.
Fuck that bitch. Okay, brother.
Well, Alex didn't know this was rear-wheel drive.
Okay.
What the fuck you think I was doing last night?
To be honest, I said that I thought this